Hello, it's Em, the beginning crafter. Welcome to another FlossTube. Today I will show you everything I've worked on, and by that I mean basically all my projects, because the only one I didn't work on was the fairy, since I don't still have beads for it. So let's start with Stitch Along, Blackwork Stitch Along, organized by Peppermint Purple. I didn't really fill in any new fillers because I didn't have time. It is the end of September, but I haven't yet even looked at the fillers. I just decided to start working on a border because last time I realized that we are nearing the end of the year and I haven't done anything with the border around the grid. So I started doing that. I have this kind of line outline of the whole shape, and then I've moved to just doing a bit more of a border around it, that it will be a bit more square or rectangular. I'm not sure about the shape. I think rectangular. It's still a long way to go, but I just went until my thread finished, and then I'll be waiting for the grids for October, and if I have the time I'll also work more on the border. So not really much of a progress, especially not one that you can see easily, but yeah, one thing that I haven't really thought about, it's started at least, and I'll have to continue on working. The marker that you see there, this yellow thing, this is from one of the craft pods, and I'm using it for marking where I have to stop something, because as you can see, this border has this kind of shape to it, and it's happening like that in every 4 of the sides, and I just need to know when I'm stitching, so that this is the point where I get to, and then I have to change something. It's just much easier than having to constantly count how many stitches I need to stitch before I get to the place where I need to do something else. So that's why it's still there. The next project is Mini Marvellous Garden. And with Mini Marvellous Garden, I've reached a milestone of 25%. So that's the quarter of the picture. Yeah, something like that. And similarly to what I'm planning to do with Miranda when I get to a nice milestone, will be to just get rid of all those tangled, well, these are not yet tangled, but soon might be. Get rid of those threads. So for now I will abandon going grid by grid, like from left to right and then down, left to right, until the end of the page, just how you would read a book, and I'll just finish up all those threads because they're really annoying, and it's just difficult to get them untangled. Also, some of the threads here, they have just a few stitches around that area, and then I could use them here in my stitching, and that's why you can see those white spots, because I'm not using a new thread when I know that I can use thread that's already cut and divided. So yeah, I want to do that. but the peacock is going nicely. As you can see, there's still some view of the background, so blue greenish colors so far. And yeah, I had a tough moment with it a few weeks ago, but now it's gone. So I'm working on it quite happily, and I think next time I'll be working on those threads to get rid of them. Then I've got Miranda. Miranda is still having those threads because the milestone I decided to use with Miranda is, I think, 20%, and I'm still at 16 point something percent, so I'm still working just as usual. And I've been working on the C part. The foam is almost finished. There are still some white spots, but not as many, more like confetti stitches. And I'm doing this darker blue part here, as you can see. Still with Miranda, it's still a long way to go when it comes to getting rid of all the threads, because here getting to 20% will take a long time. It's a much larger piece than Mini Marvellous Garden, so getting those percentages high, it's a lot of work. So definitely not on this page. I will not meet the 20% threshold. Possibly around this page it will happen. So still a long way to go with Miranda, but yeah, slowly getting there and filling in those grids. So we're working. Not as much fun at the moment, I have to say. There are so many changes of colors and shades that it's getting to quite annoying point. But we're working through that. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to work and finish, maybe not finish, but just ramp up my tempo of working with Miranda, because it's still a long way to go before the finish, and I would like to finish it in a reasonable time. So yeah, that's the idea, to work on it a bit more, even though I'm really not feeling it at the moment, and maybe I will pause it for one FlossTube period, just to give it a break and have my mind just have a rest from all the annoying things about Miranda, but then get back to it and really work on it hard. Then I've got Avarice. Now with Avarice, I'm working steadily. I've done over 1,000 stitches, and just as you can see, I've got a lot of the arc done. So now you can see where the arc of those symbols will be. Page number 1 is almost full, although there's a still big gap in the corner here, but I mean almost full, because for a lot of things I went really down, and it's almost totally finished. Here on the side there are some white spots as well, and I've done quite a lot on the second page and even a bit on the third page, because I have also a third page in here, and the arc is quite annoying, because as you can see, a lot of just single stitches here and there, so you have to move the thread quite a lot or cut it and snip it. But I can't wait to see this arc actually forming. I know that you can see the shape of it, but I want to sort of also start seeing the inside of this arc, all those symbols. So it keeps me going that even though I have to change the thread quite a lot, it slowly shows you the arc, the interesting part, the most interesting part so far, because here it's just a background and it's just dark colors, black, brown, stuff like that. In the arc there are already some lighter stitches, like light brown or something like cream or beige, so that was also quite interesting. Some pinky shades as well. So at least that was a bit of a break from those dark colors. Here I've got a few threads hanging because this part is not yet fully gridded, although I think I will pretty soon just get them a little bit down so that the threads hanging are a bit shorter than this, and I hope I'll be able to just put a few stitches in that area there and limit the length of the threads hanging. So in here I'm using just the thread until either I run out of thread or the thread is no longer needed in the area. And just these are hanging because of not having been fully grid the fabric here. So that's with Avarice, my newest project that I've started in August. So I think for 2 months of work this is a really good progress. Although I don't think I'm at 3% yet. So it's still a long way to go, but it should be gorgeous when it's done. It should be gorgeous when it's half done already. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's why I want to work on it. And this will be made easier because of the fact that I finished the Virgo. And I know I should have started the video with I have a finish, but I guess I'll just put it in the title of the video. Yes, the Virgo is finished. All the stitches are finished, completed. Everything is done. It's ready. It's really ready. And I'm so stoked about it. It's my first full coverage project is finished, and this is the project I started around the time when I started the channel. So it's 3 years, it's a little over 3 years when I've been working on it, and it's finished, and it's, you know, a big part of this channel, and now it's done, and I can think of what to do with it next. I mean, first I think I'll wash it to see if all the markings are really gone after all this time, because right now I'm worried to grid, for example, Avarice with a marker, because I'm not sure if this will go away. I mean, this is after 3 years and it's no longer blue or purple. I don't remember which one I used, but it may not be gone, you know, forever. So I'll check that, and then I'll start thinking about hanging it, well, framing it first, but also where to hang it. Do I want to, well, not do I want to, I want to have it, it's just where do I want to have it. This is something I'll need figuring out, so this might be a long process, but once I have some decisions made and it's framed, I will show it to you again to see, so that you can see how it changed from just being like that, pure fabric with embroidery floss, to being framed and ready as a picture to be hanged. But this is such an amazing achievement. Actually, when I finished the project, when I was putting my last stitches, I wasn't really feeling emotional or anything, just sort of happy with the job well done. But now that I'm kind of talking about it and just sort of I've rested after working on it, it just comes, all the emotions that just are, you know, I did it, I completed it, it's finished. That's a really great feeling to feel so accomplished. And I know it's a small project, well, small, it's not very small, but compared to my other project, it is quite small. I mean, maybe Mini Marvellous Garden isn't really bigger than this one, although it should have more stitches, because this one is done on count 14 Aida, and the other one is on count 16. So size might be very similar, but the number of stitches isn't. So I think this is my smaller, well, the smallest full coverage picture, and it took me 3 years to finish, and that's a kind of idea of how long it will take me to finish all the others. Although now I have fewer of them to work on, so they should get each a bit more focus than they used to, because I don't have the fairy anymore, I don't have the Hogwarts crest anymore, because I also finished it this year. The fairy for now is resting because I don't have the beads, and I don't really have the time to think about the beads and buy them and wait for them and stuff. So it's also not in rotation, let's say. So basically I have just three full coverage projects and the stitch along. So each should get a bit more time to be stitched on, especially if I pause one of them, then I have a lot of time to work on one of the projects, so that should be great, and I should be able to stitch a bit more and finish them a little faster than this. Although soon after I started the Virgo, I started Miranda. It took me a longer while to start Mini Marvellous Garden, but I don't think it was like a full year after the Virgo. So yeah, it's they will also take a long time. Even if I speed up a little bit, it will still be a longer while for them to be finished and completed. But I think it will be a fun thing and a fun ride to get there. And imagine the collection of my own pictures made by me on the walls of my apartment. You can't wait, even though it will take a long time. I can't wait, and I want to see it. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It is appreciated. Leave a comment down below. I don't answer very often or very quickly, but I do read them, and I try to answer when I can. Think about subscribing to the channel if you want to see the progress of all the other projects that I'm making, and also other craft related things I do. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!